just throw the meat on the grill and I just sear it, cook it, decimate it. Steaks, chicken, sausages. I don't do fish. Just don't. So if you're looking for that kind of stuff, then you can get some really good hints and tips from me. So it's kind of funny when you're talking about RVing and you look at some of these videos and you're thinking, man, they've got the life. And we're actually at a campsite, and in some of the RV videos that you're seeing, videos taken outside, but a lot of the video that you're seeing is done in a studio where they're actually shooting through windows, or they've got even cutaway doors, or whatever it takes, and they'll have two of an RV. So you have like the van life type videos where they're actually using the equipment that they have. And in one case of van life, that was actually found out that the people were not even living in the van. They had an advance party, set it up, they'd stayed in a hotel, they showed up, they did the filming, and then they went back to their hotel, and it turned out that nobody was ever living in the van. And it took somebody following around to do that. But the point I'm getting to is that all of the videos that you see on As We RV are done in our RV, and they're done at our space. Except for the ones where we're doing it from home, and in which case we're still in our RV, and it's always the same equipment. The same equipment that we take all the time is the same equipment that you've seen. And so I wanted to talk about cooking, cleaning, and doing some stuff like that today. This is part of our trip to Hayward Flat, Trinity Lake in California. And so I've talked before about making things simple for RVing, because you have this really nice space, but you're really outside eating most of the time. But sometimes it's cold, or it's just the way it is. So, shopping. When you're shopping, shop easy, because you've only got so much space to store stuff in. Maybe you have one cabinet for food, and you can keep food in your vehicle or whatever it is. My vehicle happens to be gone. My wife and her friend have taken the vehicle, and they're leaving for like 8 hours, which is going to allow me a lot of time to film, sleep, and watch movies, which I'm all in favor of inside of our hideout. But the first thing I wanted to start with this morning was eating. So, with that said, we tend to buy things that are pre-cut. We tend to look for things to make our life easier, even though we really like to cook. So, when you're talking about doing some stuff, don't buy a head of lettuce and a bunch of carrots and the rest of it. Just buy the top salad, okay? Easier. It's simple. You want to get some fruit? Get some fruit. Don't get stuff you have to deal with, right? Don't get a bunch of raw fruit that you got to sit and cut for 3 hours, especially if you have kids or something like that. You want a couple extra small salads? Go to the deli section. Knock yourself out. Get the salads, right? Barbecuing. Buy the vegetable pack for $5. What is your time worth? You want to be out by the campfire, or do you want to be inside this trailer cutting squash, onions, peppers? And the onions are never big enough anyway. You can only use the middles if you're throwing them on the grill. These guys have done it before you at stores, your local stores, or talk to your meat guy. And then my favorite, what we're doing this morning, is we have a store called Raley's, and Raley's makes these pre-packaged meal things. So in this case, this is one of about 12 that they make in the case for about $3 here in California, and this is country hash browns, and that's what we're going to be making while we're talking today. So when you go shopping, when you go in there, you have a trailer, you have your refrigerator, right? I mean, we have a freezer, right? Don't limit yourself to one Haagen-Dazs, right? Get whatever it is that makes you feel really good. Get your corn on the cob. Get pre-cut corn on the cob. Get pre-shucked corn on the cob. Now, the only time you're going to change this rule is when you want to keep people occupied. It used to be when I was younger, you could keep a kid occupied by shucking corn for an hour and a half. Nowadays, if it's not hooked up to an Xbox, you don't even have their attention. So you might as well get corn that's cut, small, ready to go, and just let the kids do whatever it is that you want them to do, because getting a kid to shuck corn nowadays is probably close to impossible. So consider what you can get away with when you're shopping, so that when you get out here, it's a lot easier. Okay, so it's breakfast time. I got up a little bit early today, shaved for the camera, did all that kind of stuff, and I have decided, okay, we're going to do our easy stuff, our country hash browns. And the next thing I wanted to talk to you about is when you're cooking, life's easy. So you have limited space. You learn to keep everything where you can, your scissors, in a drawer, utensils in drawers, stuff like that, right? You must stay organized, because if you're one of those people that starts drinking or whatever, and you can't remember where you put things, it's not a lot of fun. So this is our country hash browns. We got a pan right here. Avocado oil, right? Okay, am I a chef? No, I'm not a chef. I don't care. I just don't care. But what I do care about is, since I'm in a trailer and I have the opportunity to make stuff look good, I'm going to do it. I'm also into not hurting myself or burning myself. So, as you can see, I try to keep things pretty clean and pretty organized. And then when I'm done with my meal, I keep things really clean and really organized. I put everything away. I want it so that when people come into the trailer, they're not dumping over things. And which is lucky for us, because there's only about 2 of us here today, 3 of us here today. There's going to be 5 of us here tonight. Of those 5 people, only 2 of them will be sleeping in the trailer, so that'll be nice. Make sure you keep quart bags and gallon bags. If I'm not eating all of something, then I have a place to put it, because nobody wants a bunch of dishes, right? It's just a pain in the butt. So if I have some leftovers or stuff I'm not going to eat because, hey, it's too much food, although I probably could have just cooked it and put it in this bag anyway and eat it later on, right? Storage space is a problem. So now that's going. So last night, while this is cooking in the background, and you can hear it, I prepped the tri-tips for tonight. And a lot of people will say, well, you can just buy marinated tri-tips. You could, but they may not be marinated the way I like them. So we're talking about those gallon freezer bags. So in here, inside that gallon freezer bag, is a bag with a tri-tip in it, okay? And it's a bag within a bag, so yes, I burned 2 bags. But I put marinade already with seasoning in here. And what's really nice about this is, because I have this little vegetable drawer, if one of them happens to leak, it's okay, because it's all going to stay contained in this vegetable drawer, which is really easy to clean. And there's our marinade. And what we did is we used some Lowry steak and chop sauce mixed with my personal favorite, Pappy's. Thank you, Pappy. We don't know who you are. We don't care. We love you. Okay, and then this is my little seasoning thing. If you can't season it with what's in here, you don't need it. So we have things like salt to clean frying pans. We have paprika. We have roadkill grill, which is really good. I think we got that in Arizona. Himalayan salt, because we're healthy people. Ground black pepper. Pappy's. got some roasted garlic and bell pepper, and then this is applewood smoked bacon. And so the rule of thumb is, if you can't fit it in here, don't bring it. And those sit up on a shelf inside of a cabinet up here. I've talked to you about shelving before. And then our other one is, that's up on the shelf, these little containers that you can buy at, Walmart, Target, is tea and coffee, right? I don't drink coffee, I don't care. And then I've got my knife holder right here, right? That's going to hold all my knives. And these are Pauladine. I know some of you don't like Pauladine, but they were $1 when she fell from grace. And they used to be like $8. So Pauladine, all good to me. So there's our tri-tip. We're going to see those later tonight. Well, as I was before, I was a chef, so flipping eggs is not a problem. I can flip eggs and do all that stuff. So keep your area as clean as you can. I know that when you get down to the cooking hours of nighttime meals, you've got the corn going, you've got the salads going, you got the chips going, you got the olives going, you got the chips and salsa going, you got all this stuff going, and it gets to be a nightmare. But since you're not eating in the trailer anyway, luckily you have a table. But the truth is, keep it as clean as you possibly can. This is why we go camping. We call it camping, but it's really RVing, and that's fine with me. And yeah, the wife's out, and she's driving around with her friend, and they're gonna go shopping in Shasta, which is like an hour away from the campsite, but it's 6 hours away from our house, and we don't get to come up here very often. So, plus, it's 2020, and we're all COVID released, so this is it.